What's up, guys? How's it going? Hope you're all doing well. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing my fight week breakdown and prediction video for the Xander Zayas versus Jarron Boots Ennis fight that is taking place this weekend at 154 pounds. So obviously that means it is fight week. I think today we have the final press conference for this fight. Now going into this fight, I think it is, in my opinion, a very tough fight to pick. I know some people, or quite a lot of the public, seems to think that Boots is going to blow Xander Zayas away. Now, I'm not on that sort of aisle, on that side of the aisle. In my opinion, I think we might see an upset this weekend. I think it's a very interesting fight. Like I said, it's a tough fight to pick. I'm personally leaning towards Xander Zayas this weekend. I think he picked Boots for a reason. I think he sees that Boots has quite slow feet, or he's quite flat-footed. And I think Zayas plans to try and expose this. I think he's going to try and box and be patient. I think, one of Boots' weaknesses is possibly his impatience in fights. And I think we'll see Zayas look to sit back and look to try and counterpunch Boots, look to use his feints to try and draw out sort of big upper body movements from Ennis and make Boots pay, because I think Zayas out of the two, in my opinion, is fundamentally the better boxer. You know, I think technically Zayas makes less mistakes than Boots. Now Boots has been able to get away with a lot of this throughout his career due to fighting lower level opposition, and also having quite a big height and reach advantage over quite a lot of the guys. But in this fight, in my opinion, it's Boots' first fight fighting someone his size, and the guy is also very skilled, a very technically good boxer, and a guy with a very good boxing IQ. Now, I think Zayas definitely. Now, you can make the case this is the case for both guys, because it is. For both of them, it's their biggest tests of their career. For both of them, it's a step up, because both guys have been tested against pressure fighters. And both guys are very good at dealing with pressure fighters, but we haven't seen from both guys. Maybe you could say Boots a little bit in the Karen fight, when Karen showed a back foot game against Boots. But I think this is their biggest test in terms of facing a slick boxer. Both guys haven't faced a guy as slick as the guy they're about to face this weekend, and as skilled as the guy they're about to face this weekend. So I think that's why I say, in my opinion, it is a tough fight to pick. But I definitely think the value is on the Xander Zayas side of the play. And I think I'm leaning towards Zayas. Like I say, I think he's going to look to try and take advantage of Boots' impatience in there. I think he's going to look to try and box the boxer and try and counter Jarron Boots Ennis, and look to frustrate him, and then look to make him pay. I think, Zayas defensively is probably better than Boots. I think Boots isn't as defensively responsible as Zayas, and I think he makes more mistakes than Zayas. And I think we'll see Zayas, like I say, look to sit back and look to try and box, look to use his footwork, look to use a lot of his feints. Zayas has a very good lead hand. I mentioned before Boots as well. Got a great lead hand, got a great jab from both stances. Obviously, Boots is a switch hitter, but from either stance, Boots has a very good jab, and he uses it upstairs and downstairs. Now, in this fight, I think, one of the biggest keys, or the biggest key in this fight, is probably going to be the battle of the lead hands in this fight. Depending on, what stance Boots is going to fight it out of, we'll have to wait and see. But I think from either side, the lead hand is going to be crucial in this fight. Now, Zayas, in my opinion, got a great lead hand. He's naturally a left-handed guy. And he's got great versatility with his lead hand. He can double up hooks, he can lead with hooks, he can throw jabs to the head and body. He can even turn into a lead uppercut. So he's got a great lead hand, Xander Zayas, and I think he has the edge in foot speed, and I think he has the better footwork out of the two guys. That's where I think one of the biggest differences, and it's not going to be a big difference, but when you're breaking down this fight, I think we saw Stanionis had a lot of success with his lead hand against Boots Ennis in that fight. And he's a guy that's a lot shorter, and has a much shorter reach than Boots. Xander Zayas is was quite a bit bigger than a guy like Stanionis, so he's going to be able to have even more success, in my opinion, with the lead hand in this fight, because I think he has a better lead hand than Stanionis. Now, Stanionis had a very good stiff jab, and we saw him having, success with that, stiff jab in that fight, and the left hook as well. He was also landing the right hand, quite regularly. But it's a fight. That's what happens. But in my opinion, Xander Zayas has an even better left hand than Stanionis, because he has more versatility with it. Like I said, Stanionis was mostly that stiff jab, whereas Zayas, got a better feint game, in my opinion, a lot better feint game than Stanionis, and a lot better feet with the better lead hand as well. So I see, you know, in my opinion, that's how I see it. And I think that Zayas is going to be able to expose that. But Boots as well, like I said, has got a good lead hand. So this is ultimately, going to play a big part in the fight. But I think, in my opinion, Zayas probably has an even better lead hand than Boots. And I think he has the edge in foot speed and footwork. So I'm leaning towards Zayas. And I think Zayas is, like I said, we're going to look to move and be patient in this fight and look to try and counter Boots and look to try and outbox Boots and use his feints and set up that, that jab with the lead hand. But, Boots as well, I think he's going to look to use that jab to the head and body, same like Zayas, and look to use his feints. So it's going to be a great chess match, in my opinion, and a very technical, exciting fight, in my opinion. But personally, I'm leaning towards Xander Zayas in this fight. I think he's going to be able to win this fight, probably on points, but I wouldn't be surprised if he hurts Boots at some point and possibly even stops Boots, maybe in the second half of the fight. Nails Boots with a counter or something once Boots is getting a bit impatient. And we'll see how good Boots' chin is in this fight, because so far he's shown a pretty good chin. But this is obviously probably the biggest guy he's fought. And I think Zayas has underrated power. And we're going to see in this fight. But I'm leaning towards Xander Zayas to win this fight, possibly on points. But yeah, that's my thoughts, guys. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comment section below. It's a great fight. It is a tough fight to pick, in my opinion. Let me know who you're picking in the comment section below, guys. Thanks for listening. Talk to you guys again soon. Cheers.